Have you ever felt a sudden chill run down your spine, even on a warm night? Or caught a flitting shadow from the corner of your eye, only to find nothing there? Tonight, we journey into the world of the supernatural, exploring the most haunted places on Earth. These aren't just campfire stories. They are locations steeped in history, tragedy, and paranormal activity that continues to mystify and terrify visitors to this day. Turn down the lights, get comfortable, and prepare to be chilled to the bone. Our first stop is the ancient and mysterious city of Edinburgh, Scotland. By day, it's a beautiful historic capital, but by night, its narrow cobblestone alley known as Closes, and its dark, sprawling graveyards tell a different story. This city is a labyrinth of underground vaults and hidden passages, places where the plague victims of the 17th century were walled up and left to their fate. One of the most infamous spots is Greyfriars Kirkyard. While it's the resting place of many notable Scots, it's also home to the malevolent spirit of George Mackenzie, a ruthless persecutor from the 17th century. His tomb. The Black Mausoleum is the epicenter of what's known as the Mackenzie Poltergeist since 1999. Hundreds of visitors have reported sudden drops in temperature, strange smells, and even physical attacks, scratches, bruises, and blackouts. It's so intense that the city council once locked the section off. But the tours continue for those brave enough to face the vengeful spirit. The nearby South Bridge Vaults, a series of chambers beneath the city, were once home to the city's poorest residents and used by criminals. Today, tour groups report hearing disembodied whispers, footsteps, and the chilling cries of children echoing in the darkness from the misty streets of Scotland. We travel to the sun-scorched plains of India to the Bungar Fort. This 17th century fortress is so notoriously haunted that the Archaeological Survey of India has legally prohibited entry between sunset and sunrise. The local legends are as dramatic as the ruins themselves. One story tells of a powerful sadhu, or holy man, who allowed the fort to be built on the condition that its shadow never touched his sacred meditation spot. When a later prince built the palace higher, its shadow fell upon the sadhu's retreat, and he cursed the entire town to be destroyed. Another, more popular tale speaks of a sorcerer named Sindhya, who fell in love with the beautiful Princess Ratnava. He tried to win her over with a magic potion disguised as perfume, but the princess saw through his trickery and threw the bottle onto a large boulder. The boulder, now enchanted, rolled down and crushed the sorcerer. With his dying breath, he cursed Bungar, damning it to desolation and ensuring that no one would ever be able to live there again. Locals and visitors report a heavy, oppressive feeling, strange music, and ghostly apparitions. It is said that anyone who dares to stay in the fort after dark will never be seen again. Next, we venture to the base of Japan's iconic Mount Fuji, into the eerie silence of Aokigahara Forest, also known as the Sea of Trees. This dense, sprawling forest has a tragic reputation. Due to the high density of trees that block out wind and sound, and the volcanic soil rich in magnetic iron that can interfere with compasses, it's incredibly easy to get lost. But it's the forest's darker history that draws morbid curiosity. For decades, it has been a site for suicides, earning it a grim nickname. Visitors often describe an overwhelming sense of sadness and a profound, unnatural quiet. The feeling of being watched is a common report, with many claiming to see shadowy figures flitting between the trees. The forest is also tied to ancient Japanese folklore, believed to be home to yere, the ghosts of those who have died with anger, sadness, or a desire for revenge. The practice of tying colored tape to trees, meant to help people find their way back, creates a surreal, unsettling landscape. It's a place of immense natural beauty tainted by deep human sorrow. If you or someone you know is struggling, please know that help is available. Resources are listed in the description below. Our journey now takes us to a small, isolated island in the Venetian Lagoon, Italy. Poveglia Island has a past so dark, it's often called the most haunted island in the world. Its grim history began during the Roman era, when it was used to isolate plague victims. This practice was repeated centuries later during the bubonic plague, where tens of thousands of infected people were sent to die and be burned in giant pits. It's said that the soil is still composed of over 50% human ash, but the horror didn't end there. In 1922, a mental asylum was opened on the island. The hospital became infamous for the cruel experiments conducted by its head doctor. Legend says the doctor, driven mad by the ghosts of his patients and the plague victims, threw himself from the hospital's bell tower. Some say he survived the fall, only to be dragged away and consumed by a mysterious, ghostly mist that rose from the ground. Today, the island is strictly off-limits to the public. Fishermen avoid the surrounding waters, fearing they'll snag human bones in their nets. Trespassers who have dared to visit report hearing screams, seeing apparitions, and being overcome by a feeling of pure dread. The bell tower, though the bell was removed decades ago, is still said to toll across the lagoon on quiet nights. From Italy, we fly across the globe to rural New South Wales, Australia, to visit what is considered the country's most haunted house, the Monte Cristo Homestead. This Victorian manor, built in 1885, appears elegant from the outside, but its history is filled with a shocking number of tragic and violent deaths. The original owners, the Crawleys, saw their family plagued by misfortune. A young child fell down the stairs, a maid fell from the balcony, and a stable boy burned to death in his sleep. Perhaps the most active spirit is that of Mrs. Crawley herself. After her husband's death, she became a recluse, rarely leaving her room for over 2 decades. Her spirit is said to still haunt the house, particularly her old room, where visitors report feeling an icy presence and sometimes see her apparition in the window. Another ghost is that of the mentally disabled son of a caretaker, who was chained up in the dairy for 40 years. His sorrowful spirit is said to linger. His chains sometimes heard rattling in the dead of night. The current owners, who have lived there since the 1960s, run ghost tours, sharing their own terrifying experiences of disembodied voices, flickering lights, and full-bodied apparitions that have made Monte Cristo a paranormal hotspot. Finally, we return to the United Kingdom, to one of the most famous and imposing structures in the world, the Tower of London. With a history stretching back nearly 1,000 years, this fortress has served as a royal palace, a prison, an armory, and a place of execution. Its walls have witnessed immense suffering, and it's no surprise that it's teeming with ghosts. The most famous is Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII, beheaded in 1536. Her ghost is often seen wandering near the site of her execution on Tower Green, sometimes carrying her own head. She has also been spotted leading a ghostly procession in the Chapel Royal of St. Peter ad Vincula, where she is buried. Another prominent ghost is that of Lady Jane Grey, the 9-day queen who was executed at just 17. Her sorrowful, white figure is often seen waving from the Salt Tower. Then there are the two young princes, Edward V and his younger brother Richard, who were imprisoned in the tower in 1483 and mysteriously vanished. It's believed they were murdered. In 1674, the skeletons of two children were discovered buried beneath a staircase, and ever since, the ghostly figures of two boys in nightgowns have been seen holding hands, silently drifting through the bloody tower. These are just a few of the countless spirits said to roam this historic and terrifying landmark. From cursed forts to tragic asylums, these places serve as a chilling reminder that some stories never truly end. The past is never really gone. It lingers, whispering its tales to those who are willing to listen. What do you think? Are these just stories? Or is there something more lurking in the shadows? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you have a local ghost story, I'd love to hear it. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Stay curious and stay safe.